We continue with the 2024-25 Hart Women's Basketball Media Day. I'm your host, Hart correspondent Stephen Davis. Next up, we're delighted to talk with Missouri Valley College head coach Ben Lister, along with senior Giovanna Moore. Coach Gia, how's it going today?
Going good.
Yeah, pretty good. How are you?
Doing well. Coach, another season at Valley right around the corner for you. Tell us about this year's team and how this group might be unique or special compared to past years.
Yeah, well, I think we're unique in the fact that we're actually going into the first week of the season without any major injuries. So, knock on wood that stays the same. But we've stayed very healthy for the most part here in October. That's made a huge difference for us. We just never really got our footing last year with the injuries from the very beginning of the year. So this group has been fortunate to avoid that so far. We have a lot of returning experience, 5 kids that started at some point. For us throughout the last couple of years. Obviously, Gia coming back and being on pace to set the school record for scoring is awesome to have. But we also have some really good young players that helped us a lot last year and grew a lot. And I think by far we have the most depth that we've had in my 4 years here, as far as some of the transfers that we brought in and the players that are going to help us. So I'm definitely excited about this group. I think that they have a chance to really put some things together and be a good basketball team. I've liked what I've seen in practice, and the chemistry is great. Just great attitudes. They've been great to work with, and it's one of the years that I feel really excited about going into the season.
Coach, that's great to hear. Introduce us to Gia sitting there next to you, and obviously she means a lot to your team. Try to put it into words for us.
Yeah, I mean, Gia is a unique story. Obviously, this is Gia Moore. She is going into her senior year. I mean, people in the conference know her. Averaged 20 points a game last year for us. Like I said, on pace to potentially be the school record holder for points in the season and a career. So she's been phenomenal. She's a kid that honestly kind of committed before I got the job and decided to stay. Glad that she did that. I've had a great 3 year experience with her. She's been very coachable. I can get on her and challenge her, and she responds to it. She's not one of those leaders that is above, having some criticism every now and then. She wants to get better. She's gotten better her entire time that she's been here, and I'm just really excited to see how she finishes out her season this year, and hopefully get her in a position where we're having team success, not just individual success, and finishing out the way that we want her to.
All right, Gia, over to you now. You've had a very successful career at Valley. What has the opportunity to play at Valley and play for Coach Lister meant to you now that you're getting close to the end?
It's been amazing, honestly. I feel very blessed. Going into it, like he said, I had committed before he had got here, and then we had a lunch. And after talking, I was like, yeah, I think I want to stay. And I'm really, really happy that I did that. I think it was the best choice that I could have made. He's made this experience amazing. He's grown me as a player so much. It's hard to put it in words for me. It's like a overwhelming feeling to think this is my last year to be able to play and be coached by him, and I'm just very
She's trying to
grateful.
get me emotional right now.
No, it's not.
Gia, what's it going to take though for your team this year to reach goals you guys might have set and take a step or two up in the Hart standings this year?
Well, we just got to keep working really hard every single day, not taking days off and not like really just giving our all because we really have all the pieces. We're very well rounded. And like Coach was saying earlier, we have a lot of depth and we have great energy and we have a lot of new players, but it doesn't feel that way. Like the chemistry is really there, and I think that's a big piece to it. And it really seems like we have a team who really wants to win, and I think that's the first thing that you need whenever you're trying to reach big goals like that.
How much fun are you having with your teammates? Not just on the court playing, but off the court when you guys are bonding away from basketball as well.
Oh, it's a great time. It's like a big family here. We do a lot of things outside of basketball. Like the other day, we just did a painting pumpkins over at Coach Lister's house, and we were broken into groups, and it's always fun to do stuff like that, especially when because everyone here is your family. So to do little fun stuff like that, it's great. It's an amazing experience.
That's awesome. All right, we have one of your local media there. Ken, for the folks who don't know you, and I don't know who that is in the heart at this point, but introduce yourself to us and fire away with some questions.
Well, I've been here for a long time. And Ken Cuiava, I'm the Viking Sports Network and broadcast the games for Ben and for Gia. Ben, you talked about your team. By the way, you're right on the injuries. I think every time we did a game last year, you'd say, "Well, so and so's out or so and so's out." But congratulations, you still made the conference playoffs. So you had to be pretty proud of what your team did last year, in spite of all that, weren't you?
Yeah, I really, obviously felt that way towards the end of the year. I think we were all a little disappointed to not get a chance to see what that group actually could have done. Losing Ricky was a big blow early. And she's on the verge of being back, and we've been practicing and playing so far without her and seeing really positive signs. But that group last year stuck it out and continued to play hard through the very end of the year and found a way to make the conference tournament. I feel like that should be a standard that we should expect here. And so it was good for them to see that. I grew a lot as a coach. That was as much adversity as I've ever had, and I just appreciate some of the people that have supported me, Ferg, Moeller, Kelly. You guys know who you are, that have just helped me as a coach. But it was a trying year, and a year that we felt like we still tried to stay the course as much as we could and got some positives out of it, and hopefully we can build off of that this year.
Well, as you said, with your veteran players back like Gia and others, and adding the new players, are you ahead of schedule as far as the practice goes with a veteran squad like that?
Yeah, I'll never say that.
Never
For
enough
me,
time, is there?
it's always cautious optimism going into a year when you come into the season and you're actually healthy, because you do see some positive signs. You don't want to get ahead of yourself. There are things in practice that I see daily that I really like, and there are things that I'm like, if we don't get this cleaned up, we're going to struggle against some teams for sure. So we're still growing, and when you bring in a large class of new players and they've got to gel quickly, that's always pivotal, especially when you start conference play so early. And the conference, just being set up the way it is and starting mid-November, you don't have a lot of time to figure things out. So we're still learning about each other. We're still trying to find the right lineups and rotations to play together. But like I said, we feel like we have a group that we can mix and match a lot of different players and create a lot of different issues for other teams, and go deep into our bench this year. So hopefully that's going to take some pressure off of Gia to not have to, maybe play 38 minutes a game, and, give her some more flexibility in her minutes and keeping her healthy throughout the entire year. And I'm just looking forward to seeing what we end up doing when we get them all on the floor for real.
Well, you mentioned the schedule. You start a week from today on November the 1st. You'll be in a classic over in Canton, Missouri at Culver Stockton. Only 3 non-conference games, and then the schedule puts you on the road for the first 2 at your old place at Baker and then at Graceland. What do you think about that? Would you rather have more non-conference games to kind of get the pecking order ready, or are you okay with what they're doing here?
I think more non-conference games is kind of a sentiment most of us coaches have. And I don't know if Gia feels the same way, but I feel like we've been at Baker to start the year, one of our first 2 games, like the last 3 years in a row. So I don't know if people are looking at that and say, hey, let's send them over there. That'll be fun. But I think we've been on the road at their place to start the year pretty much every year, it feels like. There's just no night offs in our league, and you don't get a chance to really get a full sense of your identity when you play that short of non-conference schedule. I think we're making some changes, obviously, moving forward to our schedules, which will help. It gives you more variety of opponents. I think it's a super grind to play 24 non-conference games, and I've been through that before and had a team win the conference and do that. But I felt like mentally it just wears you out to play that type of a schedule, and being conference that long. So definitely am looking forward to maybe having an adjustment to that, and playing less of a conference grind.
Gia, I saw you on campus early in the semester. I greeted you and you said it's kind of a bittersweet year. You remember telling me that? What do you mean by
that? It's very bittersweet because I don't want it to end. But I'm so excited to start. It's just really sad. It's my last year here. So it's hard. I don't know how to explain the feeling. It's like it still doesn't feel real, and we play in a week. It's weird.
Can you believe you've already been here 4 years? I can't believe you're already a senior, right?
I kind of can.
But
No.
you're only 103, 104 points away from the all-time scoring record. I'm sure I know you're a team player, but that has to be on your mind too, isn't it?
Definitely, but I think it won't be something I'll really have to think about. I think it'll just come over time with just playing and letting things flow. So I won't like have that like key on that, but I do think about it.
How do you take your role as the team leader? Because obviously you're the team leader. How do you take your role in practice, in and out of practice?
In practice, um, I I like to try my best to set an example. So, work as hard as I can, be the loudest in the gym in everything that we do. I just try to set that example. So whenever I say something, it's respected because it's not like I'm asking other people to do things that I don't do.
Okay.
So,
And you also I see you in the gym a lot working on your own. You've got a lot of the other girls doing that as well, don't you?
well, I'll say this year I haven't been in there as much. More, I should be in there more. I try to kind of keep it a little steady to keep my body healthy and not do too much, but I would like to get in there some more.
Well, looking forward to a good season. Ben, I want to at this point before my part of it is over. Not only do you have these talented ladies on your basketball team, um, when we look at the academics for Missouri Valley College, your team is always right up there at the top. Not only have good basketball players, you have smart basketball players. You have to be proud of that.
Yeah, I think you always want to, set the tone with your program that it's not just about hanging banners. It's about being the best team in the conference and team GPA. And we want our kids to value their education. We make a lot of effort to make sure that we put that first and that they know that it's the reason that they're here is to get their degree finished. So really proud of what they do in the classroom and how serious they take it. And that's something as a coaching staff we value in our players because we know that they're motivated by more than just being a basketball player. They have goals and dreams and visions to be successful in their careers, and they're taking that part seriously, and we're doing our part to help them do that. So definitely proud of that.
And finally, you're ranked third in the preseason. I know it's a preseason poll, but that shows a lot of respect for these ladies, doesn't it?
I think so. I think there's respect for the players that are returning. And I think there was also maybe amongst the coaches a realization that we were pretty banged up last year, and probably understanding that if we do stay healthy, we were a pretty decent basketball team when we were healthy last year, and we have a lot of that experience back. So when you've got a kid that's a potential player of the year candidate on your team, a player that could have been maybe freshman of the year had she not gotten hurt. You've got a couple dynamic pieces there. Then you've got the other kids around them. We understand what we want to do. We know what we want to do. We know how to play with each other, and I think that will show up.
All right. Thanks, Steve.
Gia, let's wrap it up with one for you here. A fun question for you. If you could play any other sport there at Valley, what would it be and why?
Volleyball. I love that sport. I played it in high school and it's fun. So I'd play that here.
Awesome. Coach, we'll wrap it up with you. Just tell us a little bit about your coaching staff, how important they are to you with the recruiting and everything they do to help you out with the program.
Yeah, I mean, for those who've been around the league, Coach Knox is still with me. Spent my entire career at Baker with Coach Knox, and he followed me over here. Can't get rid of him, so he just keeps hanging around. But we're excited to have him here. He's excellent in recruiting. He does that at a high level. He's got a great personality. The kids love him. And then Coach Tappy is actually, in addition, she was graduate assistant for us that we were fortunate enough to get to stay here to be a full-time assistant. So we're really excited about her being on full-time. She does a great job administratively, but she's also a great recruiter, has a great personality, does really well when kids are on campus. Both very hard workers. And then Coach Hebb's been here longer than I have. Again, I've said this before, having older guys on staff makes me feel younger. So I appreciate their age and the fact that I still feel relevant around the players when they're both here. But Coach Hebb does a great job, X's and O's, and has a great passion for Missouri Valley, the school in general, and works really hard for us as well. So those three people have done a great job for me. Proud to work with them, and they keep me grounded. They also are a big reason why we have success here.
Awesome. Coach Gia, thank you so much for the time. Best of luck this year.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.